Evening all. So welcome everyone to episode 14, Shark Attack Case Files. Let's just dive straight into it. We're not going to Antarctica. We're going to South Africa today. So I know episode 3, I think it was, we already looked at a shark attack in episode 3, which was the old lady swimming in here, Hook Bay. There's been a few attacks in Hook Bay, but we're going to go a little bit down the coast in False Bay. So we're going to be looking at 2 attacks, as mentioned. So the first attack took place Smithswinkle Bay, between here and Partridge Point. So that's the first one. And the second attack actually took place on the Atlantic side, just north of Cape Town, north of that Table Mountain National Reserve, or whatever you call it. Yeah, Milk Boss Strand. So just off here. Yeah, and just run over some stats quickly, just because there's been a bit of an update. I know the first time I'd done a video on, I think, episode 3, South Africa, way back in like April, some point. There hadn't been an attack actually since 2017, but there has been an attack actually prior now. So that 4-year drought has ended, if you want to call it a drought. So there has been a fatality, 2021, and 96 great white shark fatalities have been recorded off South Africa in terms of frequency. So yeah, so this attack took place, the first attack took place, and if you stay till the end of the video, there's a little bit of a plot twist, sort of a Christopher Nolan style plot twist, maybe or not. So Smithswinkle Bay, South Africa, Sunday, September the 17th, 1989. Again, Gurjo van Niekerk, I think that's how you say it, Gurjo van Niekerk. Yeah, so Gurjo was spearfishing, and he was attacked by a grey white shark at about 2:30 in the afternoon. And he was in about 10 metres of water. It was a full moon phase. The air temperature, it was breezy, 17 degrees, water temperature around 15 degrees, and injury, he suffered 2 lacerations to his torso, so he had a big gash basically down the centre line of his body. It's a pretty cool scar, to be honest. Battle wounds, plenty of props for that. So Gurjo, yeah, he was diving from shore with 3 other divers. So this first attack, I'll get into the narrative in a bit more detail. Yeah, so Gurjo was offshore, 3 other divers, and I think that they'd parted a little bit between them, so they were spread out a little bit before reaching the reef, or between Smithswinkle Bay and Partridge Point. And they'd been in the water about an hour, and they hadn't shot any fish, so I don't know what they were doing out there, obviously wasting their time. And he was actually resting on the surface, preparing for another dive, and he had his gun below him, his spear guns used for spearing the fish. And then suddenly he was just struck in the chest. What he said was quite substantial force, and he didn't really know what was happening. And he said that the whole episode was over in a few seconds, and he said that he felt as if like the surf had bashed him against a rock. If you've ever experienced that, I mean, I've experienced that when you're pushed by a strong wave and you hit a rock. He said that's what it sort of felt like, and he didn't actually think anything of it, but it hit him with such force that he did drop his gun. So his gun, dropped. I guess that started sinking, and it was only when he sort of noticed the blood in the water around him that he realised he'd actually been attacked by a shark. And then he did actually start to panic, and he looked around him for his gun and his float. He didn't see them, but he realised he did have his knife with him, so he got his knife in his hand, and then he just started swimming for the safety of the shore. So he had about a 200-metre swim, and he actually made it back to shore with no other incident. So there was a couple of guys on the beach. I mean, they attended to him, and they actually thought they'd seen a whale on the surface break the surface, but what they'd actually witnessed was actually Gurjo being attacked by this great white. So anyway, they applied some first aid. He went to the hospital. He was stitched up, and there was actually some strong indentation marks on his weight belt, and I think they analysed them to say that it was a great white. And they also said that they didn't think the shark actually closed its jaws properly on him. So I think the shark just felt him out. It was just like an exploratory bite. It wasn't. I don't think the shark was trying to kill him. Just went over to say hello, but obviously, like with any large animal, when they say hello, it can be devastating. And this, Gurjo suffered some quite serious lacerations, but he was stitched up, and He was discharged the same day. Nothing wrong with him. The wounds didn't go septic or anything like that. And he just himself put it down to like a freak accident. He just said it was 1 in a million freak accident, so he wasn't too concerned about it. And he just went on with his daily life after that. And then 2 months later, the same guy went out diving again on his own this time. Nobody with him. Went out spearfishing. November the 18th, 1989. So 2 months later, just up the coast on the Atlantic side. And unfortunately, this time he was spearfishing on his own, hunting for crayfish and some other stuff. And yeah, unlucky for him, he was attacked fatally by a great white shark and killed. So they actually only found his severed leg a few days later. So a few days later after his disappearance, no one knew where he'd gone. I think the only thing people knew that he had gone spearfishing, but he didn't go with anyone. He went on his own, which obviously you should never do. And after his disappearance, there's obviously a search went out for him. People were looking out for him, and then a few days after, it was known that he went in the water. Yeah, his severed leg was washed up, and it had severe bite marks on it, and they identified it as a great white shark, and they didn't find anything else. So, I mean, the chances of being attacked once by a great white shark, as Goyo said himself, millions to one. Then to be attacked again and killed by another shark, I don't know, man. It's got to be in the tens of millions, hundreds of millions to one. But this is the first one that I've read where the same person's been attacked twice in different locations. And unless anyone else knows of any other attacks like this, please let me know. I'm dying here. But yeah, excuse me. But I thought I'd share that one with you because I thought the chances, man, millions and millions and millions to one. So yeah, take care.